YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are doing the best of phone cases 2022 edition. These cases are my personal favorites. These are the cases that I recommend to people. So we're going to be talking about everything from ultra thin cases to tough cases to clear cases. And then at the end of the video, I'll talk about my favorite case, the best of all around case for 2022. It's what I recommend most to people. So let's get into it. All right, so first up, we are talking ultra thin phone cases. Now, this category, or these cases, ultra thin cases, really are my personal favorite cases right now. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I would prefer to not have to wear a case on my iPhone. However, I'm not quite ready to make that jump. Where a thin case, ultra thin case comes into play is it gives me a skin on the back, a removable skin on the back, and then I pair that with a screen protector on the front, and I do feel fairly protected, especially since I don't really drop my phone. Every now and then maybe, but it's been a while since I've actually dropped my phone. So ultra thin cases are kind of where I'm at these days in terms of what I'm using on a daily basis. And my favorite ultra thin case, the one that I would recommend most, is Latercase. Now, I love Latercase. There's a lot of controversy around Latercase. Obviously, when Luke came out with this, there's a lot of beef between Latercase and companies like Pitaka and other groups that had already come out with carbon fiber cases. But essentially, Latercase is a paper thin carbon fiber case, and it acts like essentially a removable skin. So I don't know if you're familiar with D-brand skins, but those are kind of stick-on skins you can put on the back of your phone. And what I don't like about those is you can't remove them on and off. Ultimately you got to throw them away. And so I'd rather have something that is reusable, something I can take on and take off. And that's really where Latercase comes into play. The other cool thing about Latercase is they're coming in different styles now. So you have obviously the traditional, take this off here, the traditional black and white or black and gray carbon fiber colorway, but then you also have midnight black and coffee. I'm really liking the coffee, pairing that with my deep purple iPhone 14 Pro Max. I really like kind of that color combination right now. But I still think my favorite ultimately would be the original black and gray carbon fiber. It's just super soft in your hand. It's kind of not brittle. A couple things though about Latercase, if you're looking to pick up something like this. Number one is you are losing a level of protection, especially with Latercase, because Latercase does cut out a lot of the case around the top and bottom rails. There's just a lot of exposure around the rim of your case, as well as you don't get any screen protection, so there's no lip that comes up above the screen. But if you're rocking a screen protector, then you might be okay with Latercase. Now, the other thing about Latercase is it's not MagSafe necessarily. Now, there aren't any MagSafe magnets built into the case. However, because it's so thin, MagSafe charging works just fine. I actually use Latercase on my MagSafe car mount in my car, and I have zero issues with it falling off. So you do get a pretty strong hold even without the MagSafe magnets in place. But to be completely honest, it's not as strong as if you actually had a MagSafe phone case. Now that's where Pitaka comes into play. So if you're wanting something that actually has MagSafe magnets in place, definitely take a look at Pitaka. There's a couple reasons why this isn't my top phone case in this category, and one of those is price. So Latercase is 45 bucks. It's pretty expensive for a case in my opinion. I'm typically trying to look for something that's more $20, $25. So Latercase is already a little bit expensive. Well, Pitaka is actually $60. So this is a super expensive case. The other thing is I don't feel like Pitaka is as soft as Latercase. There are some hard edges around the edges of the case, and so I just don't like the feel in hand as much as I like with Latercase. So that's Pitaka. The last mention that I'll make here, this would probably be my second favorite ultra thin case, and that is the Caudabe Veil. It's not necessarily a grippy case, it is a smooth kind of plastic. There is a little bit of roughness, a little bit of texture that just kind of does give it a little bit more grip, but what I'm really going for here is thinness. I want a case like this to really make it almost like I'm not having a case on my phone, but it still gives me a level of scratch protection if I'm gonna set it down on its back. All right, so the next category of cases we're gonna be taking a look at is clear cases, and my recommended case would be the ESR Clear Case with Kickstand. Now this is available in both MagSafe and non-MagSafe versions of the case, but really the key here is the ingenious way they've incorporated a kickstand into this case, utilizing the camera cutout, the camera bump on the back to essentially place the kickstand there. So what you're getting is a nice solid clear case, soft plastic material, as well as a kickstand, which adds a lot of functionality to the case. That's why I recommend the ESR kickstand clear case with MagSafe. My second recommendation to you would be the Caudabe Lucid clear case. Now this is one of the clearest cases that I've had on my phone, and the reason for that is it's actually made out of an impact resistant thermoplastic polymer. It's something they use in bulletproof glass. So this has a feel almost of glass. Now this year they've actually come out with MagSafe versions. This one actually has a MagSafe adapter, a magnetic adapter that I've added onto it. But this is a great case. You don't get a lot of protection with this case, to be honest with you. It's pretty thin. There's not really a lip around the front of your phone, but if you're looking for something that is super clear and it provides a minimal amount of protection, then I definitely recommend you check out the Caudabe Lucid Clear. By the way, all these cases will have links to them down in the comments. So if you want to take a closer look at them, definitely go check those out. Another case option, if you want something that probably has more clarity and will last a little bit longer in terms of not yellowing, check out the ESR Krystec. So it's a little bit different than their kickstand clear case. It's the Krystec clear case. Now this is also made out of more polymer material that is going to be more clear. It's going to stay clear, stay less yellow over time. So it's a little bit stiffer. It's a little bit of a less plasticky material. It does give you a little more protection. So you get a little more of a lip around the front of the phone. It has air pockets in the corners to give you a little bit more protection. So if you want something for clarity, check out the ESR Krystec. If you want a little bit more protection, that will work for you. If you don't, then check out the Caudabe Lucid Clear. And then last mention in this category, got a lot of these cases I've been looking at, is the Spigen Ultra Hybrid MagSafe. Now the reason I'm mentioning this case is because they've done something pretty cool with their clear cases, where most clear cases have a white ring where the MagSafe magnets go. Spigen has actually taken that ring and they've made some different colorways for you. So if you don't want that white ring standing out on the back of your phone, this one, for example, is the carbon fiber. They also offer purple and black colorways, so you can have that ring kind of disappear a little bit more on the back of your phone. But it's an all-around solid clear case made by a great company. Just to give you a little sense of pricing on these, the ESR Classic Kickstand case is $30. The Caudabe Lucid Clear is $36. The ESR Krystec Clear case with MagSafe is $19. So this does come in a MagSafe version. So pretty affordable, budget-friendly case here. But if you get the non-MagSafe version, which I'm holding right now, that's closer to $15, so even cheaper. And then Spigen Ultra Hybrid comes in around $25. Now, one thing to keep in mind is when you add MagSafe onto a case, typically the cost goes up a little bit, because obviously you have extra material, you have the magnets that aren't going to be as cheap as not having them, right? So you're adding material, adding functionality, that cost is going to go up slightly. All right, next category is silicone cases. And really my recommendation here is the Apple silicone case. It just doesn't get any better than that. Apple making a case for their own phone, has a great fit, great material. It is a little more expensive at $50. But if you want the best silicone case out there, I think you need to go with Apple. Otherwise, I would just get any case off of Amazon. Is going to be fine in terms of a silicone case for the most part. This is the ESR Cloudsoft. Now this is for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I haven't seen this come out for the iPhone 14 yet. But one thing I like about this is they've actually added extra material here within the camera lens area to give you more protection for your camera housing. And it is fully MagSafe. So, you know, silicone cases kind of are what they are. They're not my favorite, but I always like to go with Apple if I'm considering a silicone case. Next up is going to be leather cases. here's my recommendation. This is a brand new case. I haven't done a video on this, a standalone video on this, but it's something that I've been checking out recently. Got one in a couple weeks ago, and that is the Nomad modern leather case. Now here's why I like this case. One of my biggest complaints about Apple's leather case, which would be my second recommendation here, what I don't like about it is typically the sides of the Apple leather case are a little too puffy, maybe. I don't know if that's the right term or not. They kind of stick out a little bit too much. And what I like about the Nomad leather case, number one is the quality of the leather. It just looks really nice. But then two, the sides are actually not leather. And because of that, they're more sleek. They're more form-fitting to your phone. So this feels a little bit of a thinner case than what the Apple leather case would be, as well as it's fully MagSafe. So definitely recommend you check out the Nomad modern leather case. This one's at 50 bucks. It's about $9 cheaper than the Apple leather case, but it's definitely a nice quality case. All right, next up, another big category here, and that is tough cases. I know I'm going through these quickly. If you have any questions about any of these cases, leave me a note down in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But my most recommended tough case, and this is actually one of my most recommended cases of all time. If somebody just asks me what case should I get, one of the two cases I always share is the Spigen Tough Armor case. The reason why is you get loads of protection. So when I buy a case for a family member, this is the case I buy because I know if they drop their phone, they're going to be okay. My wife uses a Spigen Tough Armor case. She drops her phone all the time. Her phone is fine. The Spigen Tough Armor case provides really good drop protection. On the inside of the case, it's got some kind of foam cushioning. They call it air cushioning technology. There's definitely there's air pockets in the corners of the case. And really what that does is it prevents vibrations from that drop from getting to the glass of your phone, which can cause it to break. The other cool thing about the Spigen Tough Armor, and that is it has a cutout on the back, and your Apple logo shows through that. But what that means is you get something a little bit more to grab onto. So it gives you some extra hold or extra grip in terms of something to grab onto there. And then you also get a nice kickstand. So that's a really cool aspect of this case is you get a kickstand, so extra functionality. If you want to watch a video, set it down on a table, have some hands-free time with your phone, you have that kickstand in place there. And then the last thing, one of the reasons I really like this case is the edges on this case are beveled. And so because of the beveling that they put on the edges, this case feels a lot thinner in your hand than it really is because you're grabbing onto less material on the edge. So even though this is a big, tough case, it does add a level of bulk to your phone. Because of the bevels, it has a nice, thin feel in the hand. So that's why I recommend, is my most recommended tough case, the Spigen Tough Armor. A couple of other mentions in this category. One is the Mous Limited 5.0 case. Now this case is just known for its toughness. You can drop this case from, I believe, a helicopter and it'll be just fine. I mean, it's got what they call AeroShock impact absorbing technology on the inside of this case. Mous is known for protective cases. They don't add too much bulk. It's not too bulky. To be honest with you, this case reminds me a lot of the D brand grip case in terms of its form factor, but the level of protection here is just top notch. Now it is a little bit more expensive. So where the Tough Armor is $30, the Mous Limitless case is $60, so twice as much. So that's why I kind of go with the Spigen Tough Armor, because the cost it's a little bit more affordable than other cases. But this is the carbon fiber edition here. You can get a lot of different back materials on the Mous Limitless case. Just a good solid recommendation for a tough case that's going to protect your phone, if that's what you're looking for. The other mentions I have here, one is the Caudabe Synthesis. So this might be my favorite Caudabe case right now. The tough case from the Caudabe lineup is the Synthesis. And the thing I like about this is the sleek look of the case on your phone. And then also it has micro etching on the back. And then it has a really nice grip pattern along the sides. So you get a really nice grippy case. Caudabe makes high quality cases here. This one is definitely one of those. So I definitely recommend you check out the Caudabe Synthesis. And then finally, last case in the tough case category. This is a unique one I just looked at, just did a video on, and this here is the Benks MagClap Nova Hybrid. There's two things about this case. Number one, it has extra functionality built in around cooling your phone. So there are kind of vents built into the back of the case. On the inside, they have this thermo material that's supposed to further cool your phone. And then the second thing, what really gets me is the buttons. The buttons on this case are the clickiest buttons out of any case I've ever used. So if clicky buttons are what you're all about, definitely go check out the Benks MagClap Nova Hybrid for $46. All right, two more categories and then we'll get out of here. First category is, I just wanted to call this out, was the best stand. So a best stand on a phone case. And that's really gonna go to the Casebook Magic Stand. Just did a video on this guy, and really this is genius. So the thing about the Casebook is completely flat back, completely MagSafe, but where that MagSafe ring is, that actually rotates down to turn into a stand for your phone, but also that stand could be an extra grip for you as well. So they did a really good job in developing this case. I'll leave a link to the video down below if you want to check this out more, but I definitely recommend, if you're looking for a stand for your phone case, definitely check out the Casebook Magic Stand. And then along with that, I'd also mention again, this is the ESR Clear case with the stand MagSafe Clear case. Halo Lock MagSafe Clear case with the stand. That's where the stand is in, where the camera hump is. So definitely check that out as well. All right, last category here, best most recommended all around case. And that really goes to the Caudabe sheath. You know, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm a fan of Caudabe, a fan of Caudabe cases, fan of the sheath. And here's why I recommend this case more often than any other. So first off, it has an understated, elegant design. So whether you're in the boardroom, whether you're at the construction site, wherever you are, this design, this look is gonna work for you. Secondly, it's got 6.6 feet of drop protection. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm rarely holding my phone over my head. So yeah, I should be okay in terms of dropping my phone. And I have dropped my phone in this case. It has made it out okay. So I definitely trust Caudabe and their drop protection. The third thing is it's fairly thin. So it's not a bulky case at all. It's not gonna add a ton of bulk to your phone. It's not ultra thin. It's a level above that, but it's definitely not a thick case. So you do get a nice thin feeling case with a good level of drop protection. And then finally, it has etching all around the case, the front, on the sides, the top and bottom, the back. So you get excellent grip with this phone case. And that's why I recommend the Caudabe sheath is my best of case for 2022. I've got one more mention for you. So this is $38. The Caudabe sheath is $38. If you want something a little bit more affordable, then I definitely recommend you take a look at the Spigen Thin Fit. This is 17 bucks. So definitely a budget option. So the Spigen Thin Fit, what I love about this case is it's nice and thin. You do lose a little bit of protection here, but it has a super soft matte plastic back to it, and it is a very grippy case, as well as you just can't beat that price at $17. So Spigen Thin Fit would be my second kind of general recommendation to people. And obviously, if you want protection, you know, go with the Spigen Tough Armor. Just great all-around case there. So again, I'll have links down below to all of these cases, videos where I have them, links to buy if you're interested in that. If you have any questions about any of these phone cases, definitely leave me a comment down below. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it did help you, give me a subscribe, give me a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys, peace.